Hello, happiest of the days to each of you folks, because you're having an amazing day today. Today we're taking a look at a poem. It's called The City. It was written by H.P. Lovecraft. It was published in 1919 for the Vagrant. It's number 10. It was the October issue, and that sort of thing too. I'll link it to you online. And that sort of thing too. So my first maturing of myself as an author was when I read J.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings in elementary school, and in the summer between 4th and 5th grade. It sort of leveled me up as a reader. I felt myself more mature as having read my first adult thing from and that sort of thing too. I went to Anna McCaffrey, went to Fred Saberhagen, and that sort of thing too. And ultimately I went to R.A. Salvatore a few years later in junior high. And then he came across his stuff, enriched Jordan, and loved his stuff so much in the series that was being published at that time, contemporaneously. I love that lots. He became my favorite author for a few years, actually. I followed him to all sorts of things. And when I recently went and moved to my new place, I actually had an entire book of his stuff, right? I love him lots. And to this day. And then after in high school, a few years later, I read Michael Moorcock and that sort of thing too. And again, he sort of matured me as a reader and that sort of thing too. And then I followed him along and read a bunch of his stuff and that sort of a thing too. And then recently, after that in college, as a junior in my early years, I read a collection of short stories by Lovecraft. Loved him lots. He became my favorite author. I've read his Cthulhu Mythos stuff and his things out there. All his cosmic history, all horror stuff. They put them on a map and drew, and it's kept them there too. I probably read more than 1,000. The Cthulhu Mythos short stories by now, including tons for this channel. And that sort of thing too. But I haven't read any of his poems, even though I've read all of his prose in those collections, and then all the combinations of his co-writes and that sort of thing with a two-novel collection. So I went and checked out The City, again published in 1919 for you folks, and that sort of a thing too. And I thought it would be fun, so I've knocked out some of his poems like Fungi from Yuga, and that sort of thing too. And again, this is too early to be really set in the Cthulhu Mythos, but you can still see some of that cosmic horror underpinnings that you would see later on in his career once he sort of manifested this. So basically what's happening in the city for you folks is that you're taking a tour at night. You're the main character, and he's seeing this beautiful, gorgeous city of vista in the sky, in the stars, and that sort of a thing too. And then as he starts to realize it and start to really sort of engorge on it and take it all in, and that sort of a thing too, he'll realize that there's a darker secret that underpins this gorgeous and beautiful city, and that sort of thing that he's seeing. So that's basically what's happening. But what the secret is, those spoilers, because I try to keep these spoiler free. That's sort of a thing for it, folks, too. I'll put down the blocks. But I'll leave it to your imagination. I think this is great stuff. Love it lots. 8 out of 10. Now remember, I'm not a poet person. Typically, I don't read poems. That sort of thing too. I typically read prose. That sort of thing too. So I'm not a poem fan. I probably have read like maybe 10 or 15 of his poems. Maybe the occasional poem here and there, or for classes when I was in high school. And that sort of thing too, but that's it. All right, and also, so my 8 out of 10 could be totally out of character, out of whack. Just let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, because I'm not trained critic. I didn't even study English for prose in college either, right? None of that stuff. So I'm not coming from a place of expertise, right? So your opinion really is as valid as mine is, and so I'm happy to sort of engage you with it further in the comments below, whatever your thoughts are for your folks. And then I think it's great stuff. Love it lots. All right. So as a reminder, I do 3 of these reviews of these older things a week that you read in science fiction, in horror, or in this case a little bit of both, and then fantasy too, and then try to find these older things for you too of a week. Then I also do on Saturday reviews I call Serial Saturday. They're dedicated to the forgotten storytelling methods of these older things, oftentimes being written about at the same time as when Lovecraft was alive. And I've done reviews of Dick Tracy, series, Zora, Buck Rogers, all that sort of stuff. Doing the first 2 seasons of Doctor Who on the TV side of things, of the classics here. So you can check it out on Saturday. On Monday, do reviews of older tabletop RPGs and war games and that sort of thing too. The Battletech, Middle-earth role-playing, Dungeons & Dragons, that sort of stuff too. All older stuff, so you can check that out too. And then on Wednesday, I do something I call Video Game Wednesday. So I review older video games, chapters recently on the Fallout series, the Baldur's Gate series, that sort of thing too, as well as things like Stellaris and grand strategies like EU4, that sort of thing too. So you can check it out too. Alrighty, and then if those 7 older reviews, if they sound like your cup of tea, well then great. Welcome to the channel. Have a seat. I think you'll enjoy your time here quite a bit, right? And while you're here, if you would please do all the YouTube stuff, like hit the subscribe button, the like button, the bell icon. I'm sorry, my picture, the bell icon to be notified of those videos, and then share and watch, right? Basically, share and sub. Those are the key ways of watching. Share and watch. Alrighty, for you folks, and there you are. And so, as you can tell from those 7 older reviews, it's the passion of this channel, right? It's even where its name comes from. The worst thing about new books. It's a quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Joubert, who says that the worst thing about them was that they get this from reading the new books, right? Not that the new stuff's bad, right? I'm sorry to keep us reading old books, but not that the new things are bad. They're not, right? But in the passion for the new novel, the new video game, the new movie, the new music album, all that stuff, right? We sometimes have forgotten that these things are standing on the shoulders of giants. And H.P. Lovecraft is definitely one of those giants. So let's check them out, right? Alrighty, and if you made it all the way here to the end, I just want to thank you so very, very much for just taking some time out of your day and investing it and watching my videos, because we all have so many things, right, that are being done to our lives and pulled in so many different directions, right? So if like you spent this time with me, that's incredibly humbling, and I appreciate that so very, very much. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.